to our State of the Brewery address for 2011. Rod and I are here in the brew house at Victory Brewing Company, the Nerve Center, where all the good stuff happens. And so what kind of good stuff have we done for our audience? What have we done to garner attention from folks?
What have we done recently?
Year?
Yes.
Exactly.
Well, last year we had a couple new releases.
Yeah, absolutely.
I remember the best one, well, not the best one, but one that got the most talk about was that Dark Intrigue. Remember that one back at the end of the year?
I think there's very few people that remember that one, unfortunately. That was a spectacular disaster in that we made an extremely popular beer with Storm King oak aged, bourbon barrel aged, and I actually haven't opened a bottle.
Well, I have. More than one, so I got you covered.
Okay. But, verify it for me. Rod and I had a total of one case to share between us.
And we had to beg for that.
Right, and I'm nervous to open a one bottle because everyone's begging for it still. But, let's go back further. How about Summer Love? I mean, that was
very cool. That was our first sort of blast of using American and German hops together.
Came off really well, worked with the folks Philadelphia Tourism in order to get that far and wide, and I definitely see more of that coming around. Fists of Fury. What we did with Chefs Patrick and Terry Fury, a little bit of rosemary, maybe a lot of bit of rosemary in that one. That was delicious. In fact, I know they still have bottles at both restaurants,
right?
Nectar in Berwyn and Fort Young in Philadelphia. So that's one to seek out. And of all of those, maybe Victory Village was actually closest to my heart.
That was something. Working with the guys from
One Village
Coffee. Yeah, they were great.
150 pounds of cold brewed coffee and delicious ale yeast brewed dark brown ale, and came together wonderfully. I think there's a future for that.
Yeah, well, when we steeped that coffee in the fermentation room before we added it into the beer, the entire fermentation room changed from smelling like a beer factory to a coffee roastery. It was excellent.
Which was good, if you love both. So numbers, there were some significant numbers that occurred here at Victory Brewing Company last year, and number one was one of the things that we did for the audience was installing new fermentation capacity. We went from 67,000 barrels of potential capacity up to
100,000 barrels, theoretically. We'll see if that actually can happen.
Of which you consumed 58,828 barrels is the number I recall.
Not me personally.
No,
you mean the audience?
Yeah, okay. Those you. It's not just about you, it's about the greater you.
Gotcha.
Yeah, and so what does that represent in terms of an increase over last year?
Is this like 18%? A little over 18%?
Not shabby. Give yourselves credit for that.
Yes, thank you.
Good work. Look, you got us doing your job for you. What is this nonsense? So in cases, that's 810,000 cases that volume equates to. So
right.
Do you
of course, it wasn't all cases. There were some kegs in there, but if you converted it all into cases, it would be
810,000. So the million case mark, who thinks it's going to be 2011?
It's a tough one. It's up to you.
Right.
It's a 23% growth, so I think that's a little ambitious, but it's something to strive for.
Yeah, absolutely. And craft beer as a segment is up only 9% for the first half of 2010. We don't have numbers for the end of the year.
Right, so we're tracking about twice the average, which is, we can accept that at our size, I guess.
I'll drink to that.
Yeah.
All this hard work gets pretty thirsty business, so. Given the fact that we've just had the President's State of the Union address, I think that one of the numbers that I'm really happiest about over this last year is our employment numbers.
Yeah, we now have 185 employees.
That is correct.
And I think that's up about, 40 employees for the year?
24.
24.
Yeah. So when you look at
the last year.
Yeah, you look at the end of the year to the beginning of the year, 24 new employees. So any of you neo-prohibitionist natties out there thinking that craft beer isn't doing nothing for you, forget about it. We're employing people, so get over it. Leave us alone. Is 2011 the year that our staff realized that we're just dead wood?
Hopefully not.
Yeah.
But
if we sit around
if that
doing
allows
this,
us to do this,
Right.
maybe it's okay being Deadwood, right?
new career move. So our acting careers, we'll have to take some votes on whether our acting careers are going to come off on that.
It's going so well.
Yeah. Another impressive number I thought in review of things was, again, trying to do things for our audience and getting the beer far and wide. We added 15 new wholesalers to our list in 2010. They were all in Florida, actually.
And that's pretty exciting. I was just in Florida last week,
Okay.
and I had a Golden Monkey draft beer.
One.
I had one, and then I had another. But it was at Sloppy Joe's in Key West, one of the best,
Oh, okay.
the most
Yeah,
famous
nice.
bars. Good enough for Ernest Hemingway, good enough for me, right?
So you're playing Papa with the Golden Monkey. Nice. Not bad. So yeah, that brings us up to like 74 wholesalers nationally. So for those of you watching in states like Iowa, cursing at your computer right now that we haven't come to you yet, look, we're making strides, okay? We got to concentrate, we got to focus. Without that additional capacity, even those 15 in Florida wouldn't be seen anymore. So, speaking of folks in Iowa, we put this question out there: what do people want to hear from our State of the Union and State of the Brewery?
This is our question and answer.
I think we're entering the question and answer phase.
This is good. My favorite part.
Okay. So from Twitter, we got one here for you, Ron. Can we expect to see an expanded barrel aging program from Victory Beer?
Oh, affirmative. Absolutely. As a matter of fact, with the Dark Intrigue release back in December, we had a problem with not having enough. And it took us over 6 months of aging in barrels to be able to make the small quantity we did. So what we did is we increased the number of bourbon barrels that we have from
Genius.
12 to 60.
We're not
So
Deadwood. These
now
are
we'll have
genius
5
decisions.
times as much Dark Intrigue next year, which
Really?
will be very nice.
Really?
I don't know. You'll believe it when you see it, right?
Right. When I see beer going into bottles, I will believe that. But no, that's good news for everybody. Absolutely. What else do we got here? Okay. Any plans for another batch of these 3 beers? Dark Intrigue, Summer Love, and Saison du Boeuf. Well, you heard about Dark Intrigue. More. Summer Love. Got good news for that one as well. It looks like it's going to be getting wider distribution in 12-ounce bottles as well. So for those of you who love beer and love Summer Love will be coming your way. Saison du Boeuf, that's such a special beer. Between the 3 breweries, we're having a hard time deciding when's the next time to roll that one out.
Well, I heard we'd love to do it, but Sam doesn't want to do it, so...
This is what we're hearing, that growth with our friends at Dogfish Head Craft Brewery is off the charts. So therefore, might not be pumping any more Saison du Boeuf out of that lovely brewery in Milton this year. But we'll see. I mean, now, if everybody there boycotts 90-minute ale or something like that, then we have a chance. But not telling you what to do, I think that's a terrible idea. But if you were to want more Saison du Boeuf, power's in your hands, folks. Will Victory Beer be joining the craft beer cans fad? The cans fad.
I don't see cans in the immediate future. Not really against cans. Don't really see how they work for us right now.
Dude, I didn't see it on your budget for the year.
Yeah, there you go.
There you go. Not happening. What else do we got here? Status of the brewery in Easton. This is, we were working on a brew pub with some good restaurant friends in Easton for years. And unfortunately, this is one of the sad details of 2010. With PLCB regulations and such, putting a viable business together between 2 entities just couldn't happen. Didn't happen. Won't happen. So whoever sent that question in, sorry for the bad news.